Hello guys, I hope you're doing really well. Today, I wanted to talk about my diagnosis in ADHD combined type. I have the traits of hyperactivity, yeah, and inattentiveness. What? What are you talking about? Sorry, I zoned out. That happens a lot to me. It took me a long time to get diagnosed because I only got put on a waiting list like a year ago to be referred to Psychiatry UK, which is a bit of a loophole that a lot of people have become aware of. So it's less of a loophole. So still have to wait a year. But with the NHS, I think you have to wait about 3 years to get an appointment, which is just mad, isn't it? But that's certainly just an indication of how the whole NHS is doing. And they're doing their best, but there's just too many people that need help. More and more people are getting diagnosed with ADHD. So before my assessment, I kind of felt like, is this a real thing? And I know a lot of people would question that. Some people might think that it's just because of how we're living now. And I think that definitely can make stuff worse. The whole thing with being diagnosed for ADHD is you have to have been struggling or you had some signs as a child. And my memory is pretty terrible, so I struggle to remember what it was like being a kid at times. But I do think I had ADHD as a kid, yeah. But anyway, I'm on a waiting list now for a medication called Elvance, which actually treats binge eating disorder as well as ADHD. And I have a problem with that, which I've talked about before. And I'm trying to overcome it now myself because it's hit a point now where I just can't look myself in the mirror and like myself, knowing I keep fucking up and damaging my health by overeating so much sugar. And that's partly my fault and it's partly society's fault because you can go to Costa or Starbucks, or not to like name and shame anyone in particular, but any of these places and you just get a drink like hot chocolate. Nobody knows how much sugar they're putting in. No one's looking and they're putting so much in. 50 grams of sugar in like a hot chocolate or a frappe. That's almost double what experts say you should have in your entire day in added sugar. That like 50 grams, man, that's like, what, 12 teaspoons? That's ridiculous. So I don't buy that shit anymore. And I'm really trying to cut back because I've realized like this is not a good way to cope. But it makes sense that the medication for ADHD would treat that as well, because with ADHD, you've got low dopamine where you don't have enough motivation to do tasks because you don't get that reward and satisfaction when you actually accomplish your goals. And so I can look at so much stuff that I've done and just given up on, and it makes perfect sense with the ADHD thing in mind. Like I've started books and I've got like on my Kindle, it tells the percentage of how far through the book you are. Most books are like 20% and I just give up and move on to something else, because once it gets into the heavier part of the book, if it's like a non-fiction at least, it can get a bit dry and repetitive and I'm like, it's not really giving me any dopamine now. In the past, I used to watch a lot of pornography, and I think that's just normal. I think most men do. I've deliberately not done that for a long time now, but I always had something that I was addicted to, and for the longest time, it's been sugar. And obviously, if I'm on ADHD medication, I shouldn't then need something because my brain will just work better, and I won't fall victim to so many, addictive habits. That's pretty much all I want to say for now. I've been trying to make this video for over an hour, but my mind just is not very coherent anymore. When I try and do these videos, I'm just all over the place. I think it's got worse in time because I feel so busy. And I think a lot of it is brought on myself because I kind of, in my head, I'm like, I've got so much to do, but most of it is just, I don't have to do any of it. What do I want to do? I don't know. I don't know what I want to do because I want to do it all at the same time. So for me, I've got today off pretty much. I'm watching football later, the France and Spain game and the Euros. That'll be good. I've got a haircut in a few hours, but until then, I can do what I want. And most of the time when that happens, which is a lot of weekends, I do nothing. I just watch YouTube videos all day and I've got nothing to show after. And then I go into work feeling burnt out, like I've not really recovered or rested properly. And I really enjoy reading when I allow myself to get into it. But when I'm reading for 2 hours, I'm like, oh, that's 2 hours. I could have been watching a film or playing that game. So I think I just have too many interests. But again, I need to recognize there's no urgency. Yes, I've got a lot of games. Yes, I've got a lot of books, audiobooks. I've got my new guitar that I've touched like the first 2 weeks I bought it a year ago and I haven't literally picked it up since. I've got all this stuff cramming up my mind. And if I didn't have that, and if I could start again, and if I owned less clothes and just lived a minimalist life, I think I would be a lot more able to focus and relax and enjoy the stuff that I'm doing rather than like, oh, I'm enjoying this film, but as soon as it's done, I'm going to start playing this game because it's the only time I'm going to get to do it. So yeah, hopefully future update will be good and I'll be able to live a better life. I've heard people say it's just like completely changed their life and made them way more relaxed and able to just deal with life better. And they suddenly were able to just climb the corporate ladder or start a new business or got a new job or did the thing they'd always wanted to do, but just never had the energy or motivation to see all the way through, I guess. But yeah, I'm going to watch a bit of telly. Like I said, I've been trying to film this for over an hour, so I've pretty much repeated this 20 times. This will do, I guess. Yeah, I'm just going to stop fucking talking. I've got nothing else to say.